Hello everyone and welcome back. Now when you're seeing this video, the Dominion Biosyn expansion for Jurassic World Evolution 2 would likely have come out, and today what I want to do is basically review it, after having, had the opportunity to play around with it. I want to, sort of review it in depth as opposed to having my just should you buy videos. So with that in mind, today we'll be looking at the Dominion Biosyn expansion and was it worth the hype? Was it worth the money? Was it worth the wait? Well, watch to find out. But with that being said, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please do consider liking and subscribing as we are trying to hit 1.3k by the end of the weekend. That might seem a bit ambitious, but considering the recent support lately, I don't think you're too incapable of it. So, perhaps share this video with some of your friends if you think they're interested in the Biosyn expansion. And yeah, just generally your support does mean a lot to me. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So as I said at the beginning, when you're seeing this video, the Dominion Biosyn expansion will have come out. So of course you're entitled to your own opinion, but just as much as you're entitled, I am too. So there may well be personal bias, but overall, I've really enjoyed this DLC. And despite it not being perfect, despite there not being, every species that we perhaps wanted, I don't really want to hold Frontier too accountable, because for where this DLC lacks in species, it definitely makes up for what it gave us. There are definitely a few knacks I'm going to talk about in today's video, but in the broader picture, this DLC was incredibly good. Being Jurassic World Evolution 2's fourth DLC, people were definitely a bit skeptical about the pricing and, whether or not it would actually deliver, but I'm thoroughly surprised by how good for value this DLC actually is. Because you'll look on paper and say, what, Chaos Theory, map, several new dinosaurs. There's so much missing from this DLC, but I don't think people are really taking the time to take a look at, just the creatures, for example, and, realise that this is actually, much more than just 4 new species. The skins this DLC introduces for our feathered dinosaurs specifically are just absolutely incredible. Even, the Dimetrodon sail, the way that some of the patterns look on it is just, breathtaking, jaw-dropping. There's so many words I can use to describe it, but, it is just a sight to behold once you get your hands on this DLC. I myself was definitely a bit skeptical about the pricing because, with some of the previous DLCs, I did definitely feel ever so slightly mugged off in terms of pricing, but, this time Frontier have actually come around and delivered a really good for value DLC. So, being a YouTuber, I feel it's almost my moral mission to deliver an honest review, and if you're someone that, perhaps doesn't spend money as freely as I do when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution 2, if you're interested in this DLC or just generally buying a DLC for this game, then I would definitely recommend the Dominion Biosyn expansion. So this might be a bit of personal bias here. I know I'm contradicting myself after just saying I'd deliver an honest review, but personally, I didn't so much enjoy the other Chaos Theories in this game, and, it wasn't definitely a highlight per se, but the Dominion Biosyn expansion's Chaos Theory I really enjoyed. I don't really know why. I feel like it was much more engaging just having new characters as opposed to the same people over and over. And I'm not so much a nostalgia merchant, if I can really call people that. No, I'm not going to call them nostalgia. I'm not a diehard JP fan. I love the franchise, don't get me wrong, but it just felt like so renewing to have new characters and an entirely new environment. I feel like that's the reason why I enjoyed this Chaos Theory so much, and yeah, it just felt nice to have new characters for once, as opposed to, people I've already known for basically the entirety of this channel. And just for clarity, this channel does track back quite a while. This is just another account. Salino has been around for a very, very long time, and perhaps, if we do hit 1.3k, I might even give you a snippet of prepubescent Salino. But anyway, back to the video. If you're someone that, likes collecting their dinosaurs, or perhaps, likes paleological or paleoaccuracy, then this DLC is more than enough for you, I feel. In addition to giving us entirely new feathered species, it also gives us skin variants which offer feathers. Take the T-Rex, for example. So I don't really want to say that it gives us just 4 species, because a lot of these new skin variants, as they've been labelled, do feel like entirely different dinosaurs. Take the Giganotosaurus, for example. It doesn't just, have the same animations and roars. It's all entirely different. It is an entirely different animal, if you will. And that's not to even mention the Quetzalcoatl Atlas. When I say this is a kaiju level creature, I mean it wholeheartedly. I'll probably show you a glimpse of the release animation, but it's, similar to the feeling I described in my Jurassic World Dominion review. Having this up close in, first person view, you feel small, and I mean it. This This flying reptile, this pterosaur is blimmin' massive. And while I still feel this DLC could have offered a lot more, in, you know, the grand scheme of things, I'd say that it is good for value, as I've mentioned several times. It's fun to play the Chaos Fury especially. These dinosaurs offer an entirely new spectacle to Jurassic World Evolution 2 and open the doors for so many new potential DLCs, updates. On a whole, this DLC is really good. I can only really think of two things that I was slightly disappointed with, one of which being the fact that the skin variants for the T-Rex and Giganotosaurus and Dreadnoughtus and etc, you can't actually change the patterns of them because they are, well, skin variants, which, you know, is just something that I find quite annoying because there could have been so many cool potential patterns for these, but there just isn't because of the way they've been integrated into the game. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy we got them, and, you know, for what they are, they do look really cool. And also, when the Quetzalcoatl Atlas is flying about in the aviaries, it does feel a bit big for the aviaries, not like in width or length or anything like that, and just the general height of the aviaries feels a bit too small for a Quetzalcoatl Atlas, especially, you know, considering how big it is in this game. So, you know, that is just something I find personally a bit irritating, but, you know, I'm not going to nag about it because I love the Quetz through and through, and I'm just happy it's in the game. I absolutely love the Biosyn Valley map. It literally, if you're someone that does like cinematics, which I will definitely be doing at some point with this map, it's the perfect place. The misty effect that trees give off is just, you know, so mood setting, especially at night. It just looks so sick. Not to mention, I know I've been going on a lot here, but the fact that the new buildings go alongside the DFW buildings is also quite cool. It's something I wasn't really expecting, but, you know, considering I'm not next gen as of right now, I can't, you know, use all the different building types at once, so I do have to sort of be reliant on, you know, what kind of park I want to build. But the fact that it, you know, does go alongside with the DFW buildings as opposed to being its own separate thing is definitely really helpful being a content creator and, you know, trying to build different parks. It will definitely help me out in the long run. So was it worth your money? Indefinitely. Was it worth the hype? I'd argue so. You know, I know that there's missing species, etc, but generally speaking, where this DLC delivered, it delivered well. So, if you want my honest opinion / honest review on this DLC, should you buy it? Yes, 100%. It's so good for value. It offers so much new content. You know, the only reason I couldn't see you buying it is if you didn't like Dominion, which is fair enough. But even then, this is an entirely new dynamic for Jurassic World Evolution 2, let alone the Jurassic franchise. And, you know, it is just a really cool DLC. It's unique. There's nothing really like it. You know, it offers feathered dinosaurs, new skin variants, new maps. So yeah, you should definitely buy it. I think it's a brilliant DLC. It's brilliant for value, and yeah. So that does wrap up my review of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 Dominion Biosyn expansion. If you have enjoyed, and, you know, perhaps I've changed your opinions on this DLC maybe, please do consider liking and subscribing. Share this video with your friends. All your support is greatly appreciated, as it does really help me out. If you have made it to the end of today's video, I'm going to say common Biosyn expansion. It's a pretty dull thing to comment, but, you know, it does let me know that you're watching the videos, which again does help me out a lot. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.